If you do what 99% of people do, you need to get comfortable living the life that the 99% live. But to break free from this, you need to start doing the things that 99% of people don't. But what most YouTube videos tell you is the same repeated information that everyone feels they want to hear. In reality, these things don't work, and you need to start scratching below the surface of self-improvement. So instead of wasting your time, let me show you how to get ahead of 99% of people. The problem you need to figure out. You see, many videos out there give you a lot of BS advice. Most people in life are disciplined, and they get up at the same time each day and go to the same job. If they don't, they would get fired. These people often have a good morning routine to start the day, and some even go into monk mode. Yes, don't get me wrong, these things play an important role to help them get ahead of the 99% in life. And I will certainly create videos on morning and nighttime routines and how to go into monk mode. But for now, let's focus on this guide. These things people do that I just mentioned are what most videos try to sell you. But a simple internet search will spew out all the same results, and you don't need to watch a 10-minute video. If monk mode and good routines were the essence of improvement, 99% of people would be ahead in life, but they aren't. So this means the essence lies somewhere else, and there has to be something more to get ahead in life. Having struggled myself after following the herd like a sheep, I noticed that there's something different, a unique essence that 1% of people do to get ahead. Today, I'll share the essence with you in 5 steps. I'll give you concrete and easy to follow action steps to help you get ahead in life. However, I must warn you, skipping any one of these steps, especially the last one, you might as well just continue with your mundane life and nothing will improve, leaving you part of the 99%.
So you do 2 meals. See, that appeals to me. What I realize is I've been doing the 2 breakfasts without the workouts.
Put the workout in there.
That's where I might be going wrong.
1. Creating the anti-vision. Creating a vision for yourself is thrown around by every self-improvement influencer. But how do you do that? You need to have a great imagination. However, creating an anti-vision is much easier. To create an anti-vision, you just have to find out what you don't want and what would happen if you continue with entropy. By creating an anti-vision, it'll prevent you from being pushed around by life without any control over the outcome, something most people live with their entire life. Secondly, you'll stop going through life being completely indifferent without finding out who you truly are and what your purpose is. You see, negative energy is far more powerful than people think, and coupled with fear, you begin to see what you don't want. Yes, it should scare you once you figure out what'll happen if you continue to trot along in life without any meaning. By feeling pissed off when thinking about a scenario where you end up in a position you don't want to be, and fearing this can be extremely positive, inspiring, and energizing. This is simply because you start working or pushing harder, laughing a bit louder, and loving more intensely as you avoid becoming the weak person when you do nothing. But how do you do this? To create your anti-vision, you need to head over to a local store and get yourself a notebook. Start by writing down everything you don't want in your life. Sounds silly, right? Bear with me and continue writing until you have everything jotted down. Make sure you cut out any distractions. Doing this for 30 minutes will give you more clarity about you, your desires, and your life than most people will ever get in a lifetime. I understand getting started can be tricky, but here are a few questions to get you going. What career don't you want to pursue? Where don't you want to settle? What kind of people do you not want in your life? What relationships do you not want? What do you not want to look like? What do you want your average day to not look like? As you continue writing these things, you'll start seeing clearly what you don't want in life, and this will also help you notice these things when you see them around you every day. 2. Start creating your vision. So now that you've created your anti-vision and you became aware of everything you don't want, it's time to flip the coin. You see, having an anti-vision is not enough, and it shows you where you'll end up if you don't take responsibility for your life or actions and execute them. But it still doesn't give a clear direction for your day-to-day. So how do you create this vision from the anti-vision? You know that notebook you have? I hope you still have it close by, because now you'll take the same questions from the anti-vision and turn around the negative. Once again, you should write down everything in great detail so you have a crystal clear vision of how your life should look. You can start with your everyday and work your way up to the bigger picture, incorporating every aspect you have from the anti-vision. But remember something, just because you wrote it down doesn't mean it's set in stone. You should constantly tweak your vision and anti-vision as you move toward your goal and become wiser in life. So this leads me to step number 3. Disappear for a while. I see many influencers telling their fan base to disappear for 3, 6, or even 12 months to focus on themselves. Now, I don't know if that's to keep them watching their videos, but the goal is to have you eventually become strong enough that you don't turn into a doom scroller. When I tell you to disappear, I'm referring to disappearing from everything that continues to serve and feed your anti-vision, and not your physical presence. For many, this will be video games, certain foods, people, apps, and bad habits, literally anything holding you back from your vision. To start doing this, you need to clearly define the things that are holding you back at the moment. Once you have them identified, you can start cutting them out. I know habits are tricky and take time, but subscribe here so you don't miss when I share my in-depth guide that'll help you break bad habits. I've been working on this for a while and haven't seen any other video on YouTube that discusses this in such detail. 4. Master fundamentals and stick to them. Now, once you put this into action, you'll see that it takes plenty of repetitive actions, like when you play video games and you constantly need to fight dragons or enter dungeons to grind your score and become a master at the game. Life is not much different, and most successful people do repetitive tasks for years before they become masters. One way to look at this is to see it as a marathon and not a sprint. But when you create that schedule, you need to focus on balance as well. Don't skew it toward only work, working out, or socializing, but keep these 3 things in mind to make sure you can balance them out. Something like sleep is non-negotiable, and you need to stick to at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. But during your waking hours, you can focus on these different areas. I find it easier to break things up into percentages and allocate a certain percentage to every aspect. The idea is to create something you're comfortable with repeating for years. I like to balance out my day by including my work or career aspirations, some personal development, working out, personal finances, assets, and my social life into a schedule I can follow daily. I focus on these things from Monday through Saturday, but here's how I structure it. Besides sleep, which is mandatory, I focus on 7 hours a day for deep work. This includes 1.5 hours for the channel and 5 to 6 for other businesses. I add 4 to 6 hours for my personal relationships and add an hour or so for training. But you should try out your own schedule and play around with it by using the life blocks to see what schedule works best for you. Once you feel comfortable, you should start setting goals for each of these life blocks by using your vision and deciding on which habit inside these blocks will bring you the most progress toward your goals. You should ask yourself this question I learned from the one and only Hamza, which kind of takes the Pareto principle even further. If I had only 2 hours per week for this specific area, what could I do that brings me the most progress or success? I'll create an in-depth video on how to effectively set goals and how to use tracking to help you achieve them. To sum all this up, you need to break out your notebook and create a schedule using everything we've just discussed. 5. Execute your schedule. One of the first things you'll notice is how monotonous this schedule can look. Believe me, it does start feeling repetitive, but there is no quick fix. You should do the things that matter while cutting off the things that don't. But remember, this is a long-term project. Consistency will be the key, and having discipline will enable you to stick with it. But it does get easier, and you will feel more energized and motivated as you see the small results compound into something bigger. I would also advise you to constantly check your anti-vision and vision so you can make tweaks and ensure you stay on the right path. Remember to reflect and give yourself feedback with questions like, do I waste time? Do I go back to the old unproductive or bad habits? Can I keep to my schedule, or do I need to adjust the life blocks? Am I doing the right things, or should I test other habits? Don't be afraid to experiment. In all honesty, you need to fall in love with the process, and when you do these things, there's no doubt you'll get ahead of 99% of people. It might just take time, but you'll thank me once you endure through the struggles. So make sure you won't be like most people. Never give up, and continue to push yourself while sticking to the journey, and you will succeed.